We have public comment, so.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah, we've got a list. Reminder, public comments are limited to 2 minutes per person. Comment or can we do 3 today? What do we got? What's the, it all depends on the number, so it looks like a 2-minute day. We've got a good number. Okay. So 2 minutes per person, a comment can express support or dissent for regulatory action. Individuals should not use public comment to complain about personnel issues or attack or defame an individual on a personal basis. Speakers making a highly detailed or complex comment should also consider providing a written outline of their words to the board, or a written essay, frankly, whatever you like. Please remember that children may hear your comments. Be thoughtful and professional, and keep your comments appropriate for a general audience. If you have material with explicit language or content, please submit such material in writing to the board at publiccomments@schools.utah.gov. Okay, so our lineup is, we got Lexi up first or not. So Lexi Cunningham, I believe we've got you online.
Tell her we can't hear her.
Lexi, if you're talking, we can't hear you. Should we come back to Lexi? Do we look like we have her? Okay. Monica Wilbur.
Can you hit the button? Hit the button. Yeah, there you go. Thank you. On November 27th, I listened to testimonies of political exiles who fled to the USA to escape their socialist and communist home countries. Janicet Rivero, a keynote speaker, said that the United States is a country founded on the value of freedom. Other speakers expressed repeatedly how the first act dictators took in their countries was to silence those who criticized their regimes. On November 3rd, I witnessed Chair Jim Moss cut the microphone of April Despain as she expressed her concerns with her board member, Sarah Reel. Chair Moss justified this by saying he wanted to protect board members from, quote, personal attacks, and insisted that Mrs. Despain had the right to only, quote, criticize policy. Our constitutional protection of free speech is being brutally violated if the state can shut down free speech that criticizes the state. By silencing Mrs. Despain's speech because she criticized Member Reel for her proven attempts to punish Member Klein for her free speech, it appears that Chair Moss engaged in unconstitutional viewpoint discrimination. Legal counsel from the New York State School Attorney says, quote, generally, courts have held that content restrictions on speech at school board meetings are impermissible, particularly if only certain views are regulated. In other words, a board's policy and practices regarding public speech must be content neutral and not restrict speech based on a particular viewpoint. For instance, if the board president permits speakers to praise a given teacher, but suppresses a speaker who criticizes the same teacher, a court could view that as being not content neutral. Board presidents should be very cautious about preventing individuals from speaking, even if they think the speech sounds slanderous, constitutes fighting words, or otherwise is an unprotected form of speech, end quote. As one who gives regular comment at board meetings, I want this information on the public record today. It sounds like this board owes more than a few people a couple of apologies. Thank you.
Thank you, Monica. Next up is Renee Pinkney.
Is it still working? Yes, it is. Thank you, Chair Moss and Vice Chair Earl, Vice Chair Hart, and State School Board members. I want to thank, I am Renee Pinkney. I always forget that part. I am a 29-year veteran social studies teacher serving as the UEA president. And I want to thank you for joining UEA in your prioritized funding request, specifically the $100 million for educator paid professional hours. We know the governor didn't quite make it to $100 million in his budget proposal. However, his $90 million came close. As we have experienced, when we align our funding priorities, we can have a positive impact on legislation that demonstrates respect and support for our education professionals. Now, I know we still have to get it over the finish line, but positive legislation nonetheless. As we pause to celebrate the joy and warmth of the holiday season, let us reflect on the positive influence you have had on countless lives. May this holiday season bring you well-deserved rest, moments of joy, and the company of loved ones. May you find time to rejuvenate, reflect, and recharge, preparing for the challenges in the new year ahead. Thank you so much for everything you do for our students, for our educators, and for our state. And I have brought some candy canes and chocolate to get you through the board meeting. So I will just pass it around over here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Renee. Next up, Shane Jones, I think is, unless we have Lexi, I do see Lexi. So we jump you. Let's go back to Lexi Cunningham. See, we're still not hearing you. Can you try again, Lexi? I think we might have you, but we need to hear you. Yeah, we can't hear anybody.
On our side.
Okay, we're going to come back to you folks online. We'll take some live people and get back to you. Sorry.
Well,
Live and present people. Yes, we see you moving. We know you're alive. We'll get, let's see. CJ Wilkinson, are you here in person?
yes, I am.
Okay.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for letting me speak today. I am here to ask that you not only leave Rule 277-328 for educational equity in place, but that you do everything you can to expand on educational equity and inclusion. The attacks on equity and education is very much so an attack on children who are disabled, differently abled, or who have chronic illnesses like my own, while simultaneously being an attempt to harm students of color and refugee students who need extra services. It's an attack on children who have medical or mental health related struggles and students who are learning English as a second language that require extra help in the classroom or at school in general. It's also an attack on students who have chronic illnesses like asthma or diabetes, who require medications at school and the ability to leave class when needed to take those medications. While it's understood that some believe that this rule is unnecessary and that schools and teachers, quote unquote, can be equitable anyway, I ask you, how is it possible for any teacher or school to legally be equitable if the board goes along with the rhetoric that educational equity is CRT and repeals the rule? This would also then mean that the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act could also then be up for debate as quote unquote CRT. And that is something that should never be allowed to occur. As again, it's an attack on differently abled children. Educational equity being a requirement of Utah public schools in this rule is an important defense for children who are being attacked by those who deem them to be less than. And I ask that you protect children and their best interests by keeping it in place. Thank you.
Thank you, CJ. Next, Julie Clough.
Good morning. My name is Julie Clough. I am the Utah PTA president-elect. I am a mom of 2 adult children who have gone through the public school system. In my new role, I have had a great opportunity to go around and visit community partners, and I am amazed at the work that is done for our kids. I'm so grateful to be part of this community and for the outpouring of support for public education. I had a couple of things I wanted to share with you real quick. First of all, the Utah PTA mission is to make every child's potential a reality by engaging and empowering families and communities to advocate for all children. which I have seen in abundance in the last few weeks as I have been visiting with our community partners, and I appreciate that. And many of you have been there at those meetings and share those values, and I so appreciate it. The other thing that I wanted to share that we've done this year and that we're working towards this next year, each year we present a check to the governor for the volunteer hours of PTA members in the state. And in January of this year, we presented a check to the governor for over $22 million that equated into 735,000 volunteer hours of PTA members. So I want you guys to know that that is me and the army of parents that are behind me that believe in public education and know that it is where our children will get the best opportunity to reach their potential. So thank you for your time, and thank you for the work that you do, and happy holidays.
Thank you, Julie. Laurel Fetzer.
Good morning, board. My name is Laurel Fetzer from Murray again. I would like to use my time today to bring awareness to the issue of the use of data on our students with the USIMS system, the Utah Schools Information Management System. I don't think many parents are aware of this use of the data of their students. Again, I want to emphasize that our conservative state of Utah is leading the way in supporting the liberal education goals of the United Nations 17 Sustainable Development Goals. If parents would look at the presentations that were given by USIMS March 29th, 2022 and July 26, 2022, it shows some examples of teachers being given student data personas. The teachers have their thoughts, feelings, and pains shown in these personas. So the title Student Data Persona suggests that this is not for teachers, but for all our students. I, for one, am not interested in my schools to track soft skills of my students. Let's look further at some of the things that were presented by USIMS and the data that's being tracked. Whether a student is tech savvy or tech challenged, if they are data illiterate or literate, if the kids have set methods or use their own methods, if they do better with a computer work or people work, if they are goal distracted or goal focused or stressed or at peace. Another set of data that is tracked is the student's academic mindset, how collaborative they are, competent communicators, critical thinkers, compassionate, and culturally competent. What is missing is actual academic mastery and measurement. I am, as a parent, not interested in the schools measuring and tracking these soft skills. And there is a lot of language in here that is manipulated. The goals listed are not kids' personal goals, but goals set up by the state. There are other words that are also double meanings. We need to leave these soft skills to parents and stay in the lane of academic education. Thank you.
Thank you, Laurel. April Wild Despain.
Is it on? Okay. Today I would like to speak out on the right to free speech granted to all law-abiding citizens of the United States of America. Let me start by summarizing the story of Simon Campbell, a parent and former Pennsbury School Board member in Pennsbury, Pennsylvania. In 2021, after being silenced by his local school board because the school board president decided his comments were, quote, abusive and irrelevant to the work taking place in the Pennsbury School District, end quote, Campbell decided to sue his school board on the grounds of the First Amendment. And he won. In July 2022, Judge Gene Prater of the U.S. District Court of Pennsylvania, who heard the case, said, quote, public speech at school board meetings is in fact protected by the First Amendment, end quote. This judge issued an injunction stopping the school district from enforcing regulations which the court found prohibited free speech. The case was settled for $300,000 and forced the school board to honor the free speech of its citizens. Following his win, Simon Campbell stated, this lawsuit serves as a valuable civics lesson for America's public school students. Pennsbury censorship-promoting school board is not above the law. When government officials strive to silence the First Amendment rights of American citizens, those officials can be held liable in federal court. To the Utah State Board of Education, now I would like to say, take note. Though you may feel smug in silencing the speech you dislike of the citizens of Utah, as you did to me last month, you are not above the law. You too can be held liable in federal court when you silence the First Amendment rights of American citizens, including mine. In last month's meeting, my comment criticizing the political actions of my own school board representative was shut down because, as Chair Moss stated, quote, "We don't allow personal attacks in this forum," end quote. In Pennsbury, too, district officials cited the school board's policy code 922 as civility policy against personal attacks or abusive or inappropriate language. Following the settlement, code 922 was deleted altogether as it was found to be unconstitutional. How thankful I am for the rights and freedoms I enjoy as a citizen of the U.S. I often comment in political meetings because I so value my right to influence public policy in my own state and community. I will not sit back and allow you to silence my God-given and constitutionally protected rights. Take note, USBE. Thank you.
Thank you, April. Let's go back. I think that's everybody that we had in person, unless I'm missing somebody. We got Shane and Brianna and Lexi. So I don't see Lexi.
If it doesn't.
How are we doing? Do we have sound from Shane or Brianna? Oh, we got you, Shane. Let's go with you, and hopefully we can hear Brianna as well. And Lexi if she joins us. So yeah, Shane, you're on. Thank you. Can we turn our volume up just a little bit? We can hear you, but not well. Let me just see if we've got any. That's about as high as we. Just if you could speak up a little bit.
All right, will do. So,
Perfect.
all right. Hey, my name's Shane Joseph, principal at Skyview High School. I'm gonna change my sound here. All right. And I'm also the president of the UASSP, the Utah Association of Secondary School Principals. And I just wanted to address the board and say thank you for the support that we have. I know this is not an easy job, but one of the things that I get to do, being on serving on the UASSP board, is we get to talk with other educators, other school leaders from across the country. And when we do that, sometimes it's easy to focus on some of the struggles that we have. Older buildings, health issues, tenant concerns. But when we have a chance to visit with other leaders across the country, other school leaders, it really puts into perspective all the things that we have going for us here in Utah. And so, first of all, I just like to say thank for the support we have had. I do believe that our public education is our best avenue to meet the challenges of a changing world and prepare our kids to be productive citizens. But the one thing that I just want to maybe bring to your awareness is talking some changes, at least in the district, especially the smaller school districts throughout the state of Utah. The concern for and the important need of some mental health resources for the schools. And I know a lot of that has happened over the last couple of years through different types of grants and other soft monies. But I know there's some legislation coming down, and I just hope the school board, for whatever powers they may have, really understand the importance and the need that our school systems have to meet those mental health situations. We can't teach kids who can't make it to school. It makes it very, very difficult. And so just there, really appreciate it.
Thank you, Shane. Let's go to Brianna and then Lexi.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yep, we got you.
Okay, so since coming to Utah in 2016, children have racial slurs ranging from someone calling one of my daughters, people shouting the N-word at them.
Was immediate.
They not only followed up with us, they met with the student and their parents, meted out an appropriate punishment, and ensured my child that she would feel safe in school and that they would be checking in regularly with her. I asked why this time was different. Their response: "We take these things seriously and have been trained on educational equity and ensuring that all students are safe and well cared for." They said the district has been forward-thinking in providing professional development and excellent practical training on these efforts as a direct result of guidance from USBE. This is what R277328 is for, to ensure all LEAs provide adequate training and resources for educational equity. It's not just about race, ethnicity, or gender. It's about ensuring course offerings across the district are equitable for all students, things like AP, concurrent enrollment, and full-day kindergarten. It ensures LEAs understand how inequitable access to technology is a determining factor in student success. I ask that you please do not repeal R277328. Work on it, improve it. We need more conversations about training on equity, not fewer. Thank you so much for all that you do, and I hope you have a restful gosh, I'm still in November. I hope you have a restful holiday season. Thank you so much for all you do.
Thank you, Brianna. Let's see, do we have Lexi with us? We don't see video, but we might have audio. Lexi, did we lose you? Appears we did. Okay. Okay, well, that concludes public comment. Thank you all for being with us and sharing your thoughts. We do appreciate it.